Let's move on to Tesla. You know, that stock's been on a tear, up 375% this calendar year.
Consumer Reports saying it's the best car they've ever tested. And a lot of people piling onto that stock now.
Big news, the stock had an enormous run today.
You can see it was a $20 stock. It was much less than that at one point. Right now, it's up about 5%.
Although it is up 30–40% only since October.
Tesla has been the world's best performing auto stock of the year thus far.
All right, just in time to stop spreading the sheet. It's a new segment here where we cut through all the hype, then we just look at the numbers and let you decide for yourself. And on this electric sensation, here is the real score. Tesla is undoubtedly a beauty, but it ain't no GM. Yet it's valued as if it was. And Dennis Kneale and car coach Lauren Fix reminding me at this moment that don't fall in love with something that could get you in a fix. Lauren, you sort through the hype.
Right.
And you don't buy the hype. Why not?
I don't buy the hype because I think there's a lot of things to consider. First off, if without having these California ZEV credits, which they've been using as a tool, they'd actually be taking $11,400 loss on every single car. You can't have a loss and make it up in volume. And eventually, with competition such as Nissan taking those credits also and selling them to other companies, they've created a whole little market of selling these extra credits that they're not using. And I think it's going to impact Tesla in the big picture. And I think that plus the dealership situation and the fact that they're having trouble in many states selling because they won't follow the franchise laws are going to create a lot of issues for Tesla. The car is cool. I never said it wasn't. It's very cool. I love the 17-inch screen. I love all the technology, but it's still a range anxiety
Of all the electric vehicles you've seen, is it the coolest of a lot that you have questions about?
Honestly, the coolest is the BMW i8, and that is going to be their main competitor. I have seen it. I have driven the i3. I can tell you that BMW, who has infrastructure, who has dealership networks, who can support all of the maintenance and everything that goes along with owning a car, BMW is going to take the lead.
Dennis.
I think that this is a passion stock built entirely on emotion, not built on bottom line. I tweeted about Tesla the other day. I have a problem in that Tesla earns 3 times as much money this year selling these California state government-created energy credits to other car makers, letting them exceed the limits on carbon emissions. Makes 3 times as much money selling credits to car makers as it makes selling cars to customers. This is not a company that's truly a profitable car maker. If it weren't for government largesse, and in California up to $10,000 in refunds and tax credits to buy a car, and it turns out average age of the buyer in California, average income, $125,000 a year. So we've got
this is a pricey car to begin with, right? Is it $90,000 or something like that?
Right, they go between $60,000 and $100,000, but that $7,500 tax credit you're talking about, very interesting. Only 20%.
Does that crowd even need it?
Well, no, they don't, because what they do is they take your adjusted gross income, they find out what your tax bill is, and then you can get that $7,500 credit if you qualify. So the thing is, if you don't qualify and your tax bill is only $5,000, the rest of the money goes away. But the problem that California is having in the franchise dealers is just like what Dennis is saying, that they're using it as a selling tool. For $580 a month, you can own a Tesla. So the average person goes, that's a really good deal.
How far does it go in a tank of gas? Or not tank of gas, a charge.
A charge. I know it's how we're used to.
I got to get used to the new vernacular.
Well, they claim 300, but it's not. People that have been testing it, and that's pretty much every car outlet out there, is saying somewhere in the low 200s. And when it's cold outside, you're going to get half.
So then you got to look for a place to plug it in.
Right, just like your cell phone.
Look, I wish them well, but the thought that, as one guy tweeted back, why do you not like Tesla? They're standing up to greedy oil interests and greedy car makers. No, they aren't. They're making 10,000 electric cars a year for super rich people who then get up to $10,000 in tax credits.
Why does it have this eye-popping valuation? What
because it's got passion. You know, Apple, 30% of Apple's value was purely people loving it.
You're right.
And with Tesla, people love this. They love the story. They love Elon Musk, who sounds like a cologne. The question is, in the long run, will this company truly earn money to earn out and prove that valuation? I don't think it will. I think it's a huge short at some point. Just don't short it yet.
Lauren, you know all about this, and I don't. But here's the one thing I think: if they can solve the battery issue, in other words, recharging it and recharging it quickly, then they could be up to something and off to something. But have they mastered that?
No, they haven't. He's working on that. And he's a very smart man, and he's a very good marketer. That's really the key. He's just a genius marketer, and he's convinced a bunch of followers.
What about this fast charging?
The fast charging system is supposedly coming. Right now, every manufacturer is out doing that. And that doesn't make any sense because
how fast is it?
Well, that's the whole thing. we don't have real numbers. He's saying that they can do battery swap outs in 90 seconds. I say, okay, is this a NASCAR pit stop? Let me get out my stopwatch. But in reality, you're not going to be able to switch out a battery in 90 seconds or charge in 90 seconds.
The battery charge is not
I mean,
the
I
limiting
can't
factor
soil
here.
Dennis with that.
The battery recharge is not the limiting factor. I think figures show something like 70% of all trips are fewer than 5 miles that we drive. That's not the key thing. The key thing I think is going to hurt them is that nat gas is getting cheaper and cheaper. And if we ever find a nice cheap way to get nat gas into cars, electric cars are dead for a while.
I wouldn't mind the whole electric car concept if, like hybrids as they originally were, had a backup. In other words, like gas, or like, even to Dennis's point, natural gas.
Well, I say go with diesel. It's a better solution.
Really?
I'm a huge clean diesel fan.
There are like 4 diesel stations in the country.
Oh, no, there isn't. I bought a diesel, love it. I can go
Really?
760 miles on a tank. Best.
What do you
investment
drive?
ever. Well, we'll just say it's a luxury SUV.
Mercedes, I take it.
Porsche.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
love it. Best. I love the Cayenne diesel. Best investment.
You think that's a good way
It's
to
not a
go?
reasonably priced car, but
No.
the Jetta diesel gets 52 miles to the gallon. And GM's bringing in diesel. Mazda's bringing in diesel. Every manufacturer makes diesel elsewhere. If they bring diesel in or go nat gas, that no one's going to want
Electric's
electric.
dead.
Electric's gone. Who's going
Really?
to want it? Well,
Once
except
you
for
go
those
nat
few
gas, you
Greenpeace.
never look back, I guess.
Yeah, well.
Guys, thank you both very, very much. Weird, huh? You ever hear a politician say something and then swear